What you can expect from a weekly show from Straight from the Pitch is way more than just soccer.
I always represent the Wolfpack, so I thought I'd wear my fly knit Air Force Ones.
Adidas Gazelle gold shoes. Welcome into Straight from the Pitch, a show every single Wednesday where you can learn about what's happening on and off the pitch in the NWSL and MLS. I'm Witte, one of the co-hosts. A little bit about me. I grew up around the game of soccer. I actually played for my co-host, Scotty, over here in grade school for a bit, went on to Penn State to play, and now I'm an analyst in the NWSL. I call men's professional soccer and college soccer. Soccer isn't the only sport I love. I also sideline college football, college basketball, and have a huge passion for fashion, pop culture, and finding cool spots to eat food. Scotty, what about you?
Well, I've been in the game for 40 years. Been a while. I played professionally 14 years, a couple years in France, and then most of my time here in the second division in the United States. I went to NC State, Wolfpack, all the way. And I decided today, since it was our first show, I'd represent some of our stuff. Like you said, Anna, you played for me at Next Level Academy. I'm a New York, New Jersey kind of guy, so I wore my New York hat. And being our first show, I always represent the Wolfpack, so I thought I'd wear my fly knit Air Force Ones from Nike. Yeah. So I'm excited. I love the game. I love the women's game. I love the men's game. And I just love talking soccer. And I like all the different parts of the game. To me, soccer is more than just a game. It's a culture. It's who I am. It's a religion. I live and die it. I love it. I love everything that goes on it. I love the locker room. I love the off the field stuff. I love the fashion sense of it. I just love it all.
That's what we wanted to do with this show too, was to kind of marry what happens off the field, but also what's happening on the field, because obviously those two things affect both. But there's also so much fun that we see happening behind the scenes that makes soccer such a fun sport too. But I should also add to my terrible towels behind me. I am a huge Steelers fan. I've kind of had a disappointing past couple of years, but that's okay. We'll get back on track.
You got a great coach, though.
Yes, we do. We just got to figure out maybe that quarterback piece. So we'll figure it out. What you can expect from a weekly show from Straight from the Pitch is way more than just soccer. Like we said, we'll talk about what's individually happening in the MLS and NWSL. We'll talk about talent, and we'll dive into the behind the scenes of leagues, player fashion, culture of these towns that these clubs represent, and funny or cool things that we see happening on or off the pitch. So join us for footy, fashion, fun takes, all the things that probably start with an F. One of the segments that we are going to do every week, maybe every other week, was bring something to the table, whether that's in person or something that we saw that we thought was cool. So a few weeks ago, I was influenced by a San Diego Wave center back. She's repped by Adidas, Abby Dahlkemper. So maybe she was paid to wear these shoes, but it doesn't matter because I'm not easily influenced. So I had to buy these Adidas Gazelle gold shoes. And I was really leaning towards Dunks, but I had to buy these shoes. I thought they were super cool. I've gotten a lot of compliments. So shout out to Dahlkemper for influencing me.
That's awesome. When I was growing up, Gazelles are the travel shoe for the national team when they were Adidas. And the only people that could get Gazelles were national team players. So I made sure that I would never buy a pair until I made the national team and got my travel shoes to go with my outfit that we were. So when I got Gazelles, after that, I wore Gazelles religiously until I started playing pro, and then I became a Nike athlete. So I usually wear Nike now. But Gazelles were only for the national team and only for travel.
Were they only black, or could you get them in
No, they had red. There was a red color. There was usually we got the navy blue. The navy blue was because that matched all of our sweats and everything. And that was a long time ago because that was when the U.S. was Adidas still, and now they're Nike. And we all would dress the same in our sweats or our polos or Adidas shorts, but we all wore Gazelles.
I mean, they come back into fashion. It's crazy how it all kind of circles back in.
Yep.
It's cool again. Okay. What do you got, Scotty?
I'm just really looking forward to the season starting. Like, I'm here in Raleigh, North Carolina. So with all the turnover and everything that the Carolina Courage did, I just cannot wait to see how this team molds and gels together in the style of soccer they're going to play, because there's so many different faces and so many different styles. I mean, I think Denise O'Sullivan will be a huge component of how they go, and she'll be the leader of that team. That's how I see it, from the stands. And then there's players like in the MLS is kind of gearing up, and you can see kind of things going. I just read an article on Brandon Vasquez, who was in Atlanta for a few years, didn't do much, and then Cincinnati got him. And with Pat Noonan, who I used to play against, now being the coach, they kind of did some different things, and he had a great season. I think he had 18 goals last year, had like a stellar season. So he had tons of interest from abroad, and one of the teams was Chivas, and he's a Chivas fan growing up, but he decided that the best place for his growth, and he owed this team and the city, so he stayed in Cincinnati, which I think is awesome, because you don't see loyalty too much in the game anymore, just because everyone wants to say it's a business. And I think that's part of the reason we get things wrong in soccer is it's got to be for the fans, it's got to be for the team, it's got to be for each other. So I'm real interested to see what kind of season this Brandon Vasquez has. And the only time I really got to watch him this year was with the national team, and he did his job and put a ball in the back of the net. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out this year for him.
Yeah, a stunning, stellar header goal down here in SoCal where I am. So that's a good call. I'm interested to see him at the club level too. I hadn't heard too much about him until I watched that game. So I know he's from Cincinnati. I've seen him on social media a bit. I know he's really involved that way too, which is fun. But great stuff. So I guess just to wrap up the intro episode, we are so excited to watch the 2023 NWSL and MLS season unfold with you guys. So if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend. You can follow along wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter at SFTP Pod. See you guys back here next Wednesday.
Take it easy.